Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras, here with ILTV's morning briefing. For the first time in 15 years, Israel has reportedly just approved 31 new Jewish homes for construction in the city of Hebron. The move, which has yet to be confirmed by the Israeli government, is being seen as a response to UNESCO's controversial decision to declare Hebron an endangered Palestinian World Heritage Site. But that's just one of the many resolutions passed by the United Nations organization seen by some as unfairly anti-Israel. Both the United States and Israel announced their surprise departure from UNESCO less than a week ago, and now it looks like a group of American GOP lawmakers are taking things even further. Senator Ted Cruz and Representative Matt Gaetz have just introduced a resolution to Congress reaffirming the Jewish people's connection to the city of Jerusalem and condemning UNESCO for repeatedly denying to do so. Less than 24 hours later, reports emerged that the United Nations is about to ban nearly 100 companies from doing business in the disputed West Bank areas, including Bezeq, one of Israel's biggest telecom companies. So it looks like this tug of war with the United Nations is only just heating up. Israeli athletes are under attack again this year as Israeli judokas have just been informed of the blatant discrimination against their team in this year's Judo Grand Slam. Abu Dhabi is hosting the competition this year, and the organizers have just informed Israel Judo Association Chairman Moshe Pont that he has a heavy choice to make: either withdraw or compete under the following guidelines. None of the 12 Israeli athletes invited to compete will be allowed to do so under the Israeli flag, will not have ISR appear by their names on the scoreboards or on their backs, will instead compete under the International Judo Federation or IJF title, and will not hear the Israeli national anthem should any of them win a gold medal. Pont and Miri Regev, the Minister of Culture and Sports, are now in contact with IJF officials, arguing that the demand to appear without national symbols is, quote, contrary to the mandate of international sports associations, the aim of which is to separate politics from sports and strengthen sport as a bridge and connection between peoples, cultures, and countries, end quote. Perhaps the worst part in this, however, is that this isn't even the first time Abu Dhabi pulled this kind of stunt. So it appears that Israel's complaints just 2 years ago have fallen on deaf ears, leaving Israeli judokas crossing their fingers for better news. Already a month after the High Court of Justice ruled against military service exemptions for the Ultra-Orthodox, the Haredi community continues to protest. Just last night, in separate incidents, 12 Ultra-Orthodox men were taken into custody. 4 of them were arrested during protests in Bnei Brak, an Orthodox community outside of Tel Aviv, and another 8 were arrested in Jerusalem, where dozens of Haredi men and boys blocked major roads near the central bus station. In one video taken from Jerusalem, a female soldier is seen attempting to clear the road for passing traffic, only to be crowded, harassed, spit on, and insulted using the pejorative Yiddish word shiksa, meaning non-Jewish woman. Another officer in another location was seen threatening protesters with his weapon, yelling out, quote, "Who wants a bullet?" to the crowd. These protests and riots may have intensified since last month's ruling, but are symptomatic of a larger issue of equality in Israel between the secular and religious communities. Young ultra-Orthodox men and women have traditionally been exempt from military service in order to pursue religious studies, while both secular men and women serve for between 2 and 3 years when they turn 18. The exemption suspension will last only for 1 year, giving the Knesset time to draft new legislation. But with ultra-Orthodox parties in the ruling coalition, many suspect the exemption or another such override will be provided. The Euroasia Interconnector project is right on schedule, projected to provide Israel, Cyprus, and Greece with massive boosts of electricity. Cypriot and Greek regulators have already approved the project, which, pending Israel's approval, will begin in the first quarter of 2018. The first phase will cost in excess of $4.13 billion, and the undersea cable, when complete, will be set at the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea across 1,520 kilometers or 945 miles. It will also be able to both transmit and receive electricity at a 2,000 megawatt capacity. The project emerged when Cyprus, Greece, and Israel came closer together over natural gas deposits that Israel discovered in the Mediterranean that could be used to generate electric power. The Euroasia Interconnector, if completed on schedule, should be done by 2022. Chinese e-commerce powerhouse Alibaba, owned by founder and billionaire Jack Ma, has made a major announcement this week, and that the Alibaba Group will be creating a global academy aimed at bridging the global technology gap. 7 research labs across the world together make up the Demo Academy, DEMO standing for Discovery, Adventure, Momentum, and Outlook. Over the next 3 years, over $15 billion in investments in R&D will be poured into the project. Alibaba CTO Jeff Zhang, who will be overseeing the Academy, said in a release that the Academy will, quote, aim to discover breakthrough technologies that will enable greater efficiency, network security, and ecosystem synergy for end users and businesses everywhere, end quote. Such breakthrough tech as in the fields of data intelligence, IoT, fintech, quantum computing, and human-machine interaction will be just some of the fields that the Alibaba Group will be focusing on. Tel Aviv aside, other DEMO Academy labs will be located in Beijing and Hangzhou, China, Moscow, Russia, Singapore, San Mateo, California, and Bellevue, Washington, each with a crew of about 100 researchers. That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.